Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the lovely Salisbury Bowling Club here for round one of the SA Super League. It's been a journey to get here, folks, but it's here, and I'm bloody excited about it. Joe Schwab from Bowls SA leading today's broadcast, joined by my colleague Isaac Trenorden. Isaac, mate, it's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears into this one, but it's nice to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Not too much turnaround time between all our other events, but yeah, pretty happy, and it's another huge one, another huge Super League season ahead.
And I know you're having a bit of a giggle, but I will introduce the man sitting between us. He's had a bit of a tough day for the Rogues reserve side, a couple of narrow losses, but Daniel Greenslade, how are you, mate?
Yeah, feeling good, thank you, Joe. And yeah, we've been pretty blessed today with this game. 4 quality bowlers, so it's going to be a real good one to watch, I reckon. Yep,
we will get straight into this one. As you can see here, the players just on the first end. Just stepping up to the mat now, Andrew Hill from Club Holdfast, representing the Western Rogues. He's being skipped by his Club Holdfast teammate, Jaden Zeller, so in the pairs game here. And for the Chargers, it probably doesn't get a whole lot bigger than having a Jackaroo in there. Wayne Rudiger skipping, who you can see the left of your screen, and who is playing with Nathan Pedersen, who recently won our state men's singles title. So there's some bloody talent getting around in this game, that's for sure, as we get underway here. I guess while we watch these first couple of bowls, Isaac, talk everyone through the format, or remind them of the format of the Super League.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. So Super League is a little bit unique in that we do have 3 sides per team, probably in 2 ways there. So each club is represented by an under-18s, a reserves and a league. So on our screens we've got the league game, and around the grounds we've still got 1 under-18 game happening. This morning we did have 2 reserves games. Within those reserves and league teams there are also 3 rinks. So we've got a singles, a pairs and a triples. So here we've got obviously the pairs.
As we watch Nathan Pedersen on the mat. Yep, continue.
Pairs here. Behind us we do have the singles and then the triples rink as well behind us. So yeah, whilst you very much concentrate, and we'll concentrate here on the pairs game, there is an overall scoreboard that is lurking in the background, so we'll have to keep an eye on that to make sure that these other games behind us may or may not be having an impact, and how that may potentially affect their gameplay and shot selection.
Yep, and obviously points, mainly points for overall wins, but they do get rink points as well for the rinks that they do take, plus the shots up and shots down all count towards the ladder at the end of the season, as we will run you through the rest of the matchups, but we better focus on the second part of this first end here, as we've seen Andrew Hill really set up a nice head here for Jaden Zeller to work with. Obviously, probably they'd be the first to admit that they go into this contest as underdogs, but they're off to a pretty hot start here, boys.
Yeah, and they have the pleasure. They play together on a Saturday, so Hilly plays 3 to Mav, Jaden, so they've got that chemistry sort of already there, so they know each other's games pretty well, so they'll be feeling very confident going into this one as well. So
set for a great contest, as we see Wayne Rudiger here. Just, if that had fallen the other way, I was going to say just a nice little flex early there from our resident Jackaroo, but not quite. It's great to see Wayne Rudiger as part of the SA Super League competition. Unfortunately missed the 2020 season due to a knee injury, I believe, so great to see him back out as part of the Chargers squad. So we watch Jaden Zeller here. Not bad from the man they call Mav. Of course, Jaden himself, we talk about Wayne being a Jackaroo, but Jaden himself is a member of the Pathways Jackaroo squad, so he's definitely on the radar of the higher-ups in bowls here in Australia. Wayne just giving us on a bit more grass. Ooh, not quite going to have the legs to get there. Of course, we are playing 3-bowl pairs, and it is 2-bowl triples, and obviously just a standard singles game as well. So a great mixture across all these formats, and 18 ends, I believe, as well. We do have the power plays. Each team has 2 power plays to play during each rink in a game, so those do result in double the score if you are able to win that end. So we will see those power plays have a bit of an impact as we move through this contest. Jaden just coming up a little bit short there. Boys, what's What's Wayne sort of looking at here?
Yeah, I think he's really not got to correct too much on his last, Joe. He can probably afford another 2 or 3 feet, though. Plays through his own. If he does sneak onto the inside of his own bowl, he makes his way to the jack, or if not, Jaden's shot bowl with the chalk on it.
Oh, well, what's the deflection here? It's not quite, so we'll see. Wait and see what the number is. We watch the boys on the screen here. Just have a good close look. Some great competitors in the SA Super League. Just wait to see, having a look. 3 up to Zeller and Hill. So great start for those boys there.
That's definitely the start they needed, Joe. If they did see themselves behind at any point in this game, it'll be hard to hold on, I would suggest, against Wayne and Nathan. But starting off with a 3 definitely helps them, puts the pressure back on the 2 favourites.
Oh, as we see, unfortunately, just the adrenaline getting to Andrew Hill a little bit there and sending the jack into the ditch.
And that end there was probably a prime example of like first bowl pressure, what you talk about. Like Hilly was able to put 2 and 3 right around the mark, and obviously these two are very class bowlers, so you got to try and put them under as much pressure as you can early, try and get yourself away and up and in this game. Make them play the tough shots.
Yep, as we see Nathan and Pedersen just grab the mat and automatically change the length there. So
it's interesting to note as well, Joe, and for everyone watching as they watch, hopefully, each stream that we do today and for the next 6 weeks. But we will see actually quite a few jacks going into the ditch at the club room side. So that same way that Hilly did put the jack in, I'm not exactly sure why, but we found out last year a lot of jacks did go in the ditch going that way. So potentially a little bit of breeze. You never know. Unlikely, but it could be slightly downhill that way.
yeah, well, I guess the conditions today, obviously, Dan, having played a couple of games so far, you were on one of the outside greens, but weather-wise, how do you think that's impacting the bowls at the moment?
There is a little bit of breeze around, and it's a little bit swirly, so it's making it a little bit tricky to try and, because the wide hand per se is really hooping a lot late, so you've got to really give it a chance. But under the dome, we should be pretty good. The breeze, sometimes it can be strong enough to sort of swoop under the dome, making it tough. But I think it's going to be pretty still for the rest of today.
Hill just coming up a little bit now. I tell you what, wouldn't mind if we could get a bit of a breeze, because it's a nice warm day here at Salisbury. Bit of a breeze wouldn't go astray as we watch Pedersen on his forehand side here. Getting one past, just radar just a little bit off at the moment. Andrew Hill, while Andrew Hill delivers his fun and we watch, we're running you through the other rink matchups in this league game. So in the singles behind us, we have Craig Mills of the Chargers taking on Ashley Close of the Western Rogues. Now, you'll probably be able to hear a lot of that contest behind us because that's two very vocal bowlers. And then in the triples match, we also have, for the Chargers, being skippered by Mark Haynes, Stuart Forbes, who's having a great season so far, and Matt Short. I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty strong lineup. For the Rogues, we've got Gabriel Deckia, Simon Gerda Johnson, and Kate Argent Bowden. So this matchup is absolutely star-studded. So we see Pedersen just come up a bit short there again.
Joe, I can't remember if we mentioned this either, mate, but this is the grand final rematch from last season.
Yeah, well, I've got that in my little notes here. They played 3 times last season. The Rogues were able to win 2, but unfortunately for their sake, the Chargers were able to get the job done when it counted most. Of course, I remember sitting here, it was just before Christmas time, 2020, watching that grand final, and that was an absolutely incredible affair, that pairs match that we were watching, and that was great. It was a great advertisement for the Super League. So we watch Zeller here just getting around there, getting a nice little deflection. Not giving too much away body language-wise, but yes, so these two, of course, the Chargers coming off back-to-back premierships as well, so they're the ones with the targets on their back, but you talk to the crew involved with the Chargers, and they're the kind of personalities that aren't too fussed with having a bit of pressure on them. So see Rudiger just a little bit narrow there.
As you said before as well, with like Jaden with body language, he won't give you much. Like, played a fair bit with him, and he doesn't really give you a lot, but you will know if it's a good one. He does tend to get a bit of a trot on and up and about, so
He was a bundle of nervous energy before the game. Isaac and I were sitting down having a quick, delicious burger here from the barbecue, and the man they call Mav came over to have a chat. I think he was, as anyone would be, lining up against a pair like Rudiger and Pedersen. As we see Rudiger there just trailing the jack, but onto Hill's bowl there.
Although Mav will be nervous, he will be so excited. He loves the game of bowls, Matt, like Jaden. He's always first at the club. He's always rolling. He loves it, so he'll take this absolutely head on as well.
That's what the SA Super League's all about, and we absolutely love it, and we appreciate all the support we get from our top players as well. Everyone involved, like you said, Isaac, we have a league team, reserves team and juniors, so it's a big ask, but we appreciate everyone's ongoing support because it is something that we're very proud of, and we want to see continue to grow and grow as it has from its inception, of course, heading into the 4th season now. So blink again, and hopefully we'll be heading towards maybe season 10 down the track, and this competition will have expanded even further. Rudiger just coming on the back end here. He doesn't really like it body language wise, so it looks like, yep, that'll be one to the Rogues again. So the Rogues, they extend out to a 4-0 lead. Pretty handy start there. Of course, we will keep you updated on the other rigs in this match as well. Might sort of task you that with Dan, I reckon, just swiveling around every 10 minutes or so and checking for us. And we do, as you can see there, we do have the overall scoreboard as well to be updated as we go. It's one of the joys of bowls live streaming. You're at the mercy of the players updating their scoreboards. So we will do our best, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Hill here. Of course, Club Holdfast, originally from the Riverland, joined Club Holdfast this year with his son Cameron. And by all reports, has been a great addition to the Holdfast side. Great to see young Cameron. I believe he is playing reserves for the Mallee Pirates, I think. Of course, part of the junior premiership with them last year. So they snapped him up pretty quick and hung on to him. Pedersen, who plays for Somerton, very well known. I'm sure he's got his cheer squad that we saw at the state singles final a few weeks ago. I'm sure they'll be lurking around today somewhere. And Rudiger, when he's not a Jackaroo, he's playing for Grange in that incredibly talented Premier League side as well. So a lot of top Metro Premier League players here, as well as a country representation with Hilly's background and Mav's background as well from the York Peninsula, I believe.
Yes, indeed. No, being lucky enough to play with Hilly and both Mav at Holdfast as well, and one of the, as you mentioned, one of the best additions, old Cameron and Andrew, just float up, play their bowls, nothing much phases them. They've been privileged.
Of course, from the Berry Bowling Club, big shout out to the Riverland crew if anyone's tuning in from up that way. A very, very successful bowling club up there. Hill here, going on the back end. Just looking to at least get up to the jack. Probably going to, just slide past that bowl and hold the shot. Pedersen with that trademark action. Rudiger just asking it to turn in. It's going to get a nice little deflection there. And in the gaps that we can, I will do my best to run you through the other round one league matchups, folks. So we also have in round one the Southern Blazers taking on the Hyson Comets. In the singles, we've got Lodge versus Edmonds. In the pairs, we've got Denton and Wilson for the Blazers versus Davis and Hicks for the Comets. In the triples, we've got for the Blazers, Carter, Giebert, Mader. For the Comets, we've got the number 1 draft pick, Matthew Northcott, Jimmy Gregory, Grace Maloney. As we come back here. Now, just watching this one very intently. A little bit of a bat of the eyelids, but not giving much away again, like you said. Great.
It wasn't too far off there, Mav. He just played pretty nice weight, just trying to disturb something. Just give himself another look at it, something a bit different. So
Rudiger looking like this one's on a good track if it can get around Hill's front bowl. Not quite, but he's not far off. So watch Zeller again here. Of course, on the comments, folks, jump in. Let us know where you are watching from today. I'd love to hear from you all out there on this beautiful Sunday. If you're in the area, tell you what, come on down. We've got round 1 matches being played now, followed by round 2 matches kicking off at about 4 o'clock, 4:30. There's a beautiful barbecue, the bar's open, canteen, all sorts available here. Zeller just leaving that one a little bit wide. What's Rudiger looking to do here, boys?
The way that Nathan just called that, Joe, looks like he's just a nice wide draw. It does look like they could be a handful down in that, well, exactly where Nathan's standing on screen. So probably just looking for a little bit of cover for the first one. But they do have a really nice shot on for their next bowl, especially with that one making it to third wood.
He will just explaining to Zeller that they've got a couple of catches just off the back there.
He's got to be very careful how he plays this one, Joe. If he's a touch wide and peels his own out, he could drop 4 and leave Wayne at least a metre to draw a 5th.
Well, we're going to get a good idea of his intent and game plan for this contest.
Great shot.
Jaden Zeller, look at that.
Great shot, Jaden Zeller.
Struts away like it's just an everyday thing. A fantastic shot.
Yes, absolutely, Joe. Played that with perfect weight. You know, if he was wide there and he did flick his own, he was probably going to stick around. The damage was never going to be too bad.
Got an early contender for the shot of the round, almost, boys. I reckon we will have the shots of the round for our double headers. Obviously, that adds a few more options. So stay tuned to our Facebook a little bit later in the week for that one as we watch Rudiger here. He's going to knock the jack out of bounds, so it will be replaced on the tee. So that will be 1 to Rudiger and Pedersen, I believe.
No, other way around.
No, he has handed the jack over, my apologies. So that's 1 to the Rogues again, so they extend their lead out to 5 shots to 0. 3 ends in a row there. Making a good fist of this one early. One of our other league matchups in round 1, we have the reigning Andrew Smith medalist Simon Dorr. He's made the moves from the Pirates to the Knights. He is playing singles against Nathan Black for the Spartans, so that should be a ripping contest there. In the pairs for the Knights, we've got Gary Smith, Todd Brand, taking on Tyson Wilson and Adam Black for the Spartans. In the triples, Ray Delelt, Jack Trelawney, Laney McGorman versus Ben Bowman, Scott Andreasen. I believe the Spartans needed a replacement player. Unfortunately, Carl Chappelle out of action, I believe. So not exactly sure as to who's jumped in on that one, but we will endeavour to get you that information.
And just a quick look in across the boards. In the singles, it's 3-all, and the triples is 2-1 to the Rogues. Early doors, yeah, obviously, but...
It is probably worth noting as well, boys, that the singles play 21 ends. Yep. So being a time-stricken game that we play here at Salisbury for the SA Super League, they do play to an ends limit as opposed to normal 21 up or 25 up here in South Australia.
So, as you said, great start for the Rogues on the overall scoreboard, which you can see on your screen there. Pedersen, he's just been struggling a little bit so far, but he's working his way into this contest very, very nicely. Andrew Hill here going on a much tighter line.
Just one thing as well with this like TV rink, the sort of the forehand going towards the clubhouse, the hand that like Hilly just played tends to be the wider hand. So you see a lot of players try to play that hand as much as they can, especially the leads, as you can see here, what Pedersen and Hill have both done as well. So
Pedersen, a little bit of a shake of the head on that one. Not overly stoked with his efforts, but a bit of a grin from the skipper there. It's great to see the great spirit these matches are played in. I'll quickly run you through the fourth and final league contest for round one. We've got the Raiders and the Pirates. So Neville Mansell taking on John Nicolai. So Mansell for the Raiders, Nicolai for the Pirates. Then we've got Trelaw and Goldfinch for the Raiders, taking on Krebex and Thompson for the Pirates. And in the triples, Flavel, Krebex, Jeff Krebex, I should say, Rachel playing for the Pirates, Jeff for the Raiders, and Lel Nebo in the triples there, taking on Jose Gill, Matthew Hull, and Vicky Arbon for the Pirates. So that's our 4 league matchups to get us underway for the 2022 SA Super League season. Wayne Rudiger. Just a show of class there.
Keep the jack up.
Oh,
not quite.
shows that it can happen to anyone putting the jack in the ditch. Absolutely happen to anyone.
Yeah, it's interesting on these sorts of decks, Joe. The carpet, they play with a heavier jack.
Yeah.
Nathan Pedersen's finding his struts here, boys.
Yeah.
Struggled the first couple of ends, but here he is.
Ominous signs early. He's really going to throw down the gauntlet for Andrew Hill. A great bowler in his own right, but he's going to have to go with one of the best bowlers in the state here and at least try and match him as best that he can to give his skipper an opportunity. Pedersen, like you say, going on that wider side, the backhand coming back away from the club rooms. Again, pretty strong consistency there.
Big bowl here for Andrew. Sort of hasn't really nailed it yet this end. If he can give Mav something to work with here.
That's it, Dan. I was just thinking, really, against a quality side like this, if Hilly can just make sure that his 3 bowls are passed, I think that's just as important as getting shot against these guys. It just gives Mav at least the opportunity that, if in doubt, he can play a bit more weight as opposed to just relying on himself to dead draw himself out of trouble.
Always got those more percentages as well, like playing with that weight, give yourself a chance to do something. Knowing Mav, though, he'll probably love just drawing toucher after toucher.
So we see Rudiger here. The man who some say has the best legs in bowls, great calf muscles. Of course, will be a big feature, I believe, the next round of the BPL coming up. As far as I'm aware, he will be going away with the Adelaide Pioneers again.
Throwing down an absolute horn as well then, Joe. That was
just clutch.
Made it very tough for Mav as well with that bowl falling over. It sort of takes the jack away, as much of the jack away as I should say. So need a good big bowl here from Mav, and he's not far off. Oh, this is a great reply.
Oh.
wow.
Bit of a chuckle there from Rudiger as well. He knew that was close.
It's a game of absolute millimetres at the end of the day, this sport. Can be as cruel as it gets. Rudiger just putting out a bit of cover there. As we've seen, having the tee covered is going to be important in this contest. Some players not afraid to play quite aggressively. Zeller again this time. Oh, looks like he's just overcorrected that line, unfortunately, from his previous bowl. He's got one more though, boys. He's gone either side. Maybe with the third one he can split the middle. Rudiger this time.
Doesn't want to leave him anything jack high or just short of jack high here. Joe and Dan. It's going to give Mav a really good look, but never in doubt, the man's put one on the line.
I reckon Mav will be looking to play weight here.
Let's see.
Opting back on the draw. He wasn't far.
Oh, it looks like he's just going to be tight, unfortunately, there, boys.
Awesome weight on all 3, though.
Oh.
Almost identical.
Bit of a shake of the head there. He knows he wasn't far off at all. We'll just wait for the number here for the Chargers. It's going to be a couple, it looks like. We'll just wait and see what this measure comes up with.
Fiver.
Big fiver, wow. That just turns the contest on its head, doesn't it, boys?
Sure does. That's where that relentless pressure from these Chargers team is going to come out. That another relatively long end attempt here from the Chargers.
Big thank you, boys, quickly to our sponsors of the SA Super League. While we have an opportunity here, of course, West End. Tell you what, it's a bloody beautiful day to enjoy a West End, of course, responsibly. City of Salisbury, again, for their ongoing support of the SA Super League. Cannot thank them enough. Sports Centre as well, who've helped us out with some very nice shorts for today, Isaac. Of course, with the players' uniforms as well. You'll see all the uniforms for all the teams. Just a little bit different this year, but boy, do they look fantastic. As well as MGA Insurance Group. Great to have them on board. Great supporters of bowls here in South Australia. And, of course, the Spacequake Sports Crew bringing you this live stream action. It's nice to be able to sit back and just have to worry about talking and not have to do all the technical stuff. They do a hell of a job of it. So a big thank you to them as well. Bit of an opportunity for Hill here. Patterson just way off of, you can see his first bowl there come up well short. Second bowl just pushing past, so.
Pretty close here from Hilly as well.
Great room for Hill, and he's come up well. Great weight there. Another man who doesn't give a heap away body language wise, but just gets the job done. Just narrow again there from Pedersen, but weight a bit better.
Massive bowl here for Hilly as well. If he can put another one real close, give a different look at it, puts a lot of pressure on. A very class bowler nonetheless, but still got to put him down.
That's it.
Got a little bit of steam on this one, I think, boys. Might struggle to stay up, to be honest.
Yes, unfortunately, just maybe a little bit of adrenaline there.
It's an easy trap to fall into. It's one of those ones you tell yourself you have to be there. So instead of sort of naturally correcting, you tend to just push him a little bit more. And then unfortunately for Hilly, just trickled in.
Wayne Rudiger throwing it out, letting it come back. Like Dan said earlier, there's a bit of breeze about, so that is the wider hand.
Yep, look at this one come in as well.
Unreal.
You'll probably get a bit of a picture during this broadcast this afternoon, folks, of why the man is in the Jackaroo squad, because tell you what, he's very good at getting the big one next to the small one. Zeller here, watching this one very closely, opting for the backhand, tighter hand.
He's extremely close.
Oh,
Oh, Mav.
He is absolutely peppering the jack so far today. Just not quite having the luck, but he's having a red-hot crack, which we absolutely love to see. Of course, we are through 5 ends. Having been completed, the Chargers leading this rink 6-5. But as you can see, the overall scoreboard as well, quite a close affair. Of course, check out our Bowls SA website for all the latest SA Super League news. Our Facebook as well over the next couple of weeks will be a one-stop shop for all the info you need to know. Oh,
Wow.
Two almost identical bowls. Can't do it.
can't do much more than that. I think Rudiger knows it as well, so I think he knows he needs to get close here. Because another opportunity for Zeller. He's just about due.
That's going to be an absolute pain. That's probably right in Mav's eyesight, I reckon. Wouldn't be surprised if he looks to try and rip that bowl. Try and get the edge of it, leave the jack, or if it does kill, hopefully get a couple on the respot. He's close.
Showing a lot of interest.
Showing a lot of interest.
Jaden.
Well played.
To see the jack going into the ditch there.
A little bit of a nod of the head, a little bit of a shrug of the shoulders, but they get the one shot there, so he'll be very happy with that. So that is one shot to the Rogues there to level up the score at 6 apiece on this rink. As we've travelled 6 ends, so 1/3 of the way through this contest. Great to see so many faces getting around. Of course, the coaches for these two sides once again this season. TJ Saunders coaching the Central Chargers. If there's a man that is just passionate about the Super League and getting that Premiership Cup again for the Chargers, it's TJ. And then Mark Golby for the Rogues, of course, from Club Holdfast. So two well-known figures in bowls and two men that put in a lot of work for their franchises. We see Hill a little bit rough there. See what Pedersen can do. Not far away at all. Weight looks just about spot on. Hill looking for good correction in line here. Looks like he has made that. Going in that wider hand. Great line there. Fantastic line correction. Coming up a little bit short, but a great improvement on his first bowl. So we see Pedersen. Rudiger's happy with it. Just going to tuck in around the back of his previous bowl there. So Pedersen really starting to find his radar now. Hill having made the correction in weight this time. Great bowl there. He's got something past, which is very important. As we've seen and discussed before, not often the jack will come forward. Usually it's got to go backwards in some direction, so having bowls past is important. See Pedersen just makes his correction in line. He's going to push his other bowl up.
Well played there, Joe. I think probably the best result was turning one of his two bowls through or onto the jack.
You can hear Mark Haynes in the background skippering the triples for the Chargers there. Great atmosphere down here at the Salisbury Bowling Club. Again, a big thank you to the team here, Jeff Ambler and all the crew. They do a great job. And it's a great venue to be able to host the SA Super League.
Here we go, Jaden Zeller just looking for second wood, I'd suggest, for his first one. If he can pull up in time.
Ooh. A little bit too far off there. Rudiger this time on the backhand. Looks like he's just going to sit. Oh, nearly going to come around and sit on top of Zeller's bowl there, but they'll hold two.
Just see Mav switch back onto that wide side with that last bowl sort of finishing jack high. Gives him a good slider and options. Just probably wants a really good second wood here. Doesn't want to leave them too many chances to play some shots or else they'll be in a bit of strife. Chargers still holding 3.
Rudiger having a very good look at this one. Ooh. Huge bowl here for Zeller.
Wouldn't mind seeing him play a bit more speed than what he's opted for here, boys, on that backhand, but nonetheless, if he can hang on.
Yeah, as you might have heard there, the weight's perfect, but the line just unfortunately narrow. Big free hit here for Rudiger. We saw them pick up a 5 a couple of ends ago. Didn't like it overly out of the hand.
Pulled 2 out so far. A third one out. 4.
Whew. The Chargers, they push their lead back out. They go to 10. The Rogues, they remain on 6 here in this pairs matchup. The Rogues have probably controlled a lot of the contest, but at 9 shots over the previous 3 ends for the Chargers has really changed the course of this matchup.
Surprised the Chargers haven't opted to use a power play or something yet. Holding the lead as well. Try and get our way to a pretty big one early. Puts a lot of pressure back on to Mav and Healy, making them have to sort of play a few really big shots.
You'd have to think that wouldn't be too far off, because you're right, the way they're starting to put some numbers down here, a successful power play could really put a big dent in. But Pedersen again, his first bowl of some of these ends has just come up quite a ways short.
Now we, in the reserves, we thought the same thing and lost all 4 and didn't win a game. So just shows how important it can be.
Now, a lot of people will come into the commentary box and just maybe blow their own trumpet a bit and just put a bit of mayo on stuff, but we love your honesty, Dan, and it's much appreciated.
Pedersen just struggling going towards the clubhouse. Tends to drop him a little bit short. Wouldn't take him long to correct, I don't think.
Interesting that he's opted for the tighter hand as well, coming back towards the club. Hill here, big opportunity. Looks like he's probably going to have a bit much on this one, unfortunately. Or will it stay up? Not quite.
Big let off, I reckon, there for the Chargers. If Hill was to nail that, puts a lot of pressure on Pedersen, but just showing his class back on the draw, drawing a front hopper.
Big for Hill here. As you can see, Pedersen and Rudiger, nice smiles on their faces. They know the train's starting to roll for them. Hill, he's going to cut those 2 front bowls. Unfortunately, he's coming out well short. Good to see the boys, the Rogues boys, having a bit of a laugh though. As you see the overall scoreboard, it's a back and forth contest. It's now up to the Chargers 24, the Rogues 17 from what we can see here. So it's tough keeping up to it. I know I said at the start we're at the mercy of them updating the scoreboard, but they're doing a great job for us.
Yeah, big part of that as well is just behind us here in the singles, the Chargers of Craig Mills of the Chargers up 17-4 on Ash close to the Rogues. But as we mentioned before, with the power plays and stuff, it can easily change. So this time, Jaden.
Yeah.
Great shot, Jaden.
It's been the story of his day so far, just about. The scoreboard not quite reflecting just how close he's been on a regular basis. Rudiger here, though. Boys, I tell you what, they're going to be holding two. Nice smile there from Pedersen.
Probably got a fair result off that front one, because if he did happen to land that, I wouldn't be surprised if the jack, especially on these surfaces, tend to spring a bit, would have probably sprung back to Jaden's last bowl. So
Zeller played with the weight, an aggressive attack, but just the line not quite there, unfortunately. Rudiger just apologising for that one, not happy with it, as you can see.
the Rogues do have the back two past the head, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jaden looks to keep his weight here. Just needs to go out a fraction. A lot of bowls to use, so somewhat in the area and should be a pretty good result.
I think we heard Andrew Hill say, I'm happy with the weight, go again. Jaden, as you can see in the picture-in-picture, just in line, unfortunately not there. So it looks like that was 2 shots to the Chargers. So they push that lead out to a 6-shot lead. They go to 12 for the Rogues. They remain on 6. The Chargers, they've won 3 of the last 4 ends, boys, and they've taken 11 shots, or 4 of the last 5, and they've taken 12 shots. So after not getting on the board in the first 3 ends, they are really coming at this contest now.
Look to see them tighten the screws now. I think they'll try and put a lot more pressure on Mav and Hilly here. They'll try and break this lead away.
Better start there from Pedersen. Hill on the back end here. Tell you what, it's on a pretty good track here. It's the start they needed.
Interesting note as well, team. Pedersen's opting for the tighter hand. I think he was struggling earlier on that narrower hand, but he has played a few on this commentary box side, and he seems to be hitting his straps just that touch more.
Well, talk about hitting his straps. Oh, nearly takes the jack there.
It just shows as well, both leaders sort of sticking to their guns. Hilly's backing himself on that wider hand to be able to draw back. You do see some leaders that'll tend to follow each other, but both backing their natural games.
Unfortunately for Hill here, he looked to correct on his line, but unfortunately he's come up short as well. Pedersen going on that wider hand here at the request of the skipper. Oh, what side is it going to get that?
Well played.
No, made it a lot better as well for Wayne. Gives him a lot more options. With Hill's bowls now past the jack, can play with a touch more, look to rest it through.
Hill here now opting for the tighter hand, so he's mixing it up as well.
Needs to find that bowl with that pace.
Oh, he's found it. Great to see that though. Andrew Hill having a bit of a laugh, of course. Took part in the early couple of seasons of the Super League for the Mallee Pirates, so he's not unfamiliar with this concept and this level of bowls, and shown that he's definitely not out of place here at league level. Rudiger on the backhand side. Oh, he's not going to be too far away. He's just going to be a little bit narrow, but he could sit on Hill's bowl there. Not quite. Good sider for him there, though.
This gives Mav another bowl to work with as well. Only has to beat Rudiger's last bowl, and he'll be very close. He's going to let go a bit from out there.
Unfortunately. Rudiger now opting for a bit of weight. Interesting to see here.
Not far away, boys.
Oh.
He's got the old Mav syndrome, just missing the jack. Wouldn't think he'd be too far away with his next one, that's for sure.
Normally Mav gets his aways without a wobble in the world, but that one didn't come out the smoothest, potentially why it's finished a touch. Potentially it was a touch wider than what he wanted. Wayne sending it down. Looks like it's a bit less than the first.
Ooh.
Oh. Might only be one now.
Yeah, looks like it. But Zeller with one more shot here.
Big bowl here from Mav. If he can try and make a 2 or 3, sort of brings him right back into this contest.
Great shots here from the Spacequake crew. You don't see that too many other lawn bowls streams.
How good is that? Best in the country, if you ask me, boys. They do a hell of a job. Doesn't matter the sport, this crew. They know what they're doing. Zeller, it's probably just going to be a little bit off there. Yep, it's just going to be the one. But the Rogues, they get one shot, so they just bring that deficit back ever so slightly. Chargers lead the way on 12, the Rogues on 7. The overall scoreboard, unfortunately for the Rogues, though, it's not getting a whole lot better. Chargers leading the way 37-18. I think largely part and parcel from the singles match going on behind us here, as we see Ash Close for the Rogues doing his best to salvage a few shots against Craig Mills, who's obviously bowling quite well.
Knowing Cougs, as they call him, Ash, he's an absolute fighter, though. He will be in it tooth and nail.
Andrew Hill here. Got a bad start, a little bit heavy, but Pedersen not far off. He's going to be a bit closer there. A little bit wide on his line, but his weight just about spot on. Andrew Hill just looking to correct his line a little bit. Oh, needing it to do a bit throughout there. But both of those bowls still well and truly in play, though. Pedersen not quite sure about that. Looks away in a bit of disgust. Probably due to the weight there, but lucky enough to have his own bowl there. Looks like Hill has corrected the weight. Unfortunately overcorrected, though. Coming up a similar distance short as he was passed for his first 2. Bit of a scratch of the head there from Mav, just assessing the situation. Pedersen a bit more interested in this one. Oh, and with good reason, boys. Very good reason to be a lot more interested in that.
Absolutely, Joe. He looked, his eyes lit up as soon as it left the hand. He looked very interested.
Of course, a few changes to both of these squads from last season, a little bit different to what we saw the grand final teams last year. Still plenty of talent, but as always in the Super League, there's plenty of interest in regards to player movement, player signings. Zella there. Not a bad effort for a second wood. In the 10th end here, so we're officially into the second half of this match. Thank you for joining us. Let us know on the stream in the comments where you're watching from, who you're supporting, how you think this match will end up. Can the Rogues come back here, or will we see the Chargers run away with it? Rudiger just coming up a little bit short there.
Joe, we might have to pause the live stream. Dan's mum's just called. If we can just get these ones hold of.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that's the joys of being in the commentary box, Dan. Everyone is fair game. But boys, Jaden Zeller, what a bowl
played,
there.
man. Awesome shot, Jaden.
We've seen how close he's been so often today. He was due to come up with one, but he's had a couple of rough just misses. But that one right on target, and he's absolutely nailed it.
Not to be too far outdone by Wayne Rudiger here, boys.
oh.
Wow, that just shows the quality of bowling today. Everyone, make sure you tune into the round 2 matchup a little bit later as well. We will have the Raiders and the Spartans coming on the live stream. And speaking of Kath Greenslade, she will be in the pairs match that will be getting streamed, Isaac. So we might have to look for...
Might have to keep Dan on.
Yeah, we might have to keep him on. We could get some great insight.
Oh, as long as you got a bit of a bleep button, I think you'll be all right. But
of course, very much looking forward to that. Kath pulling triple duties today, I believe. Played a couple of reserves games and then having to pitch in for the league side. So doing a fantastic job, which we love to see. Obviously, COVID is something that our competition isn't immune from, with a few late outs the last couple of days. But a big thank you to everyone for their flexibility and the way everyone's stepped up and adjusted on the fly.
yeah, she's actually playing with a club holdfast teammate in Craig Goldfinch as well, so I have not heard the end of it since Friday night.
We will have to keep you on for that one, I reckon, that, Dan. Be some great insight. Of course, Finchy was a great addition to the commentary team for the singles. So we just watched Rudiger there. So that will be 2 to the Rogues there. So they just continue to etch away at this deficit. They've reduced it down to 3 shots. The Rogues 9, the Chargers 12. We completed 10 ends, 8 to go. Still no power plays yet, though, that I've seen, boys. So we could see that coming up very soon. You'd have to think. We know teams particularly like to use the power plays when they do have the last bowl on that end. So I thought we might have seen one from the Chargers end with Wayne Rudiger just heading over near the scoreboard, but not to be. And here we see a bit of a change-up.
On the topic of Mav as well, we're at the club one Friday night watching test matches on. Lucky enough to watch a bit of cricket, and Mav and I, one thing we like, he's absolute gun bowler, I'm nowhere near, but one thing we have in common is we're both very fidgety. So he likes to go by Marn, obviously resemblance of Marnus Labuschagne, calling me Smithy, so he loves the old Marn, garfing about around him. So for all the cricket fans out there, give a good bowling Marn to Mav and he'll absolutely love you.
And he's heard that one as well. He's having a good chuckle out there. Great start by Hill with a little touch out. Oh, Pedersen nearly levelling up with a toucher of his own, not quite. Of course, great to see all the juniors out on the rink across from us here, and the other league match is being played just off to our left, and a couple of rinks behind us as well. So all happening.
Yeah, makes me feel old at 19 watching some of those people bowl over there. A lot of talent, that's for sure.
Never thought I'd feel old sitting in a bowls commentary box at 27 years old, but you two would definitely make me feel every day of those 27 years. Hill here on the wider hand on the backhand side. Having a bit of a chat with Burnley Ward from the Northern Knights on the sideline there.
I'm not sure if that was a chat or a heckle.
For the sake of the broadcast, we'll say it's a chat. Of course, the SA Super League played in the best spirits, of course. Love a bit of friendly heckling, though. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's a good opportunity as well, because you get to play with a lot of people from a lot of different clubs. So you sort of, friends, you might be enemies on the Saturday, and then you got to match up in a pairs game the next day. So, no, it's real good exposure to a lot of different people, and great fun.
Yep, that's one of the many reasons why the SA Super League has gone the way that it has. It's great to see, sort of like you see, speaking of, I guess, on the cricket topic, you see the 2020 competitions around the world now, and all the players from all different countries playing together, and the effect that has on the sport overall when they go back to their countries and their clubs. And yeah, it's great for the sport of bowls here in South Australia, and to be watching such a fantastic standard. And speaking of great standard, Jaden Zeller, she's
Sliding
just
through. He's done a whole game.
finding gaps like a bank robber at the moment. Rudiger here. Got a couple of bowls to sit on, so this could come down to his weight. Going to come up short. Ooh. Ooh, tough to say. Quite possibly the shot bowl, but not a whole lot in it.
In the area, Mav.
Oh, I tell you what. Oh, if he could have worked on the wider side of that jack and pushed it through, he had 3 nice catches sitting there.
I think we're almost up to about 15th time lucky for Mav to hit this jack.
I think, boys, in saying that, I think he has drawn the shot from that last bowl. So there's a little bit of praise there.
Rudiger again, he's going to be short, even shorter this time, unfortunately. Not happy with it.
Very rare short bowl from Rudiger there.
Big chance for Zeller here. Could he turn this into a bit of a number? They trail by 3 at the moment, the Rogues. As you can see, the overall scoreboard not going in their favour either. Just to get a number, get some rink points happening. Unfortunately, it's going to come up short. So the Rogues are holding one, like you say, Isaac. But when there's a jackaroo on the mat, nothing is for certain. Whoa, looks like he's made that correction this time around, boys. But, he's turned that into 2 for the Rogues. So a little bit of luck starting to turn their way there.
I think Rudiger's just saying if Mav can't hit the jack, he'll just hit it for you.
So the Rogues, they move along to 11. The Chargers, they remain on 12. So 1 shot in it, 11 ends completed, heading into the 12th.
No power play still of yet, so whether they don't know or they're just choosing to leave it late.
Oh, a little bit of action. No, I think just a bit of an update on the scoreboard here. Of course, the power plays do have to be called before the end begins. So that little light on the scoreboard, we'll be very excitedly waiting for that to be put on. So the Rogues, they've won the last 3 ends. They've been able to gather back those 5 shots. So just wrestling back control, which is great to see. All you can ask for is an even contest, and we set it off the top. They're definitely the underdogs in this matchup, but to their credit, doing an absolutely great job.
Awesome start here from Andrew Hill.
Great there.
Old Swanee, as they call him around the traps.
Swan Hill, is that the...
I asked a lot of questions. I'm sort of new to all this stuff. I'm like, why is he called Swanee? And one person told me Swan Hill and one person told me he goes for Sydney. So take what you want from it. He just gets called Swanee. So
if anyone out there could let us know in the comments if we can get any certainty either way on that one, that'd be great. Andrew Hill here.
We sort of did stick to Hilly. It sort of was a lot more simpler.
It is.
Obviously, his son as well plays for Holdfast. I believe he gets around by the name of Mound.
Mound. So you got you got Andrew Hill, which is Big Hill, and then you got Cameron Hill, which is Little Hill. So Mound. So we do love one thing. I've moving down there. Love the nicknames. I reckon I got called about 8 different names in my first year there. No.
Nathan Pedersen.
Great bowl here. He's going to sit nicely on
shot.
Hill's bowl there.
I think Hilly will be looking to play pretty much the same shot Pedo just did there. Look to sit the bowl. Bit of jack's really nice.
Great picture-in-picture action there.
That's it. He's shown a bit of interest here, Andrew Hill.
Oh, he's getting a real hop in his step now. Does he have the weight on it? Oh, had the track there.
Does help a lot though. It's another one around the mark. If Mav does be a fraction tight, he can either use that, or if he does get it in the guts in the centre, could roll onto Pedersen's last bowl. Something similar to this.
Interestingly poised here, halfway through the 12th end.
Need a big one from your man.
Great operator, great to see. Jaden Zeller here was a big part of the Rogues' push towards the grand final last year, and he'll be looking to do the same and help them go one better this season. Never know, there could be a chance for a bit of a shoe sponsorship deal to come out of camera angles like that one. Any shoe sponsors out there? I'm sure some of the players would be interested to get a bit of that action. Jaden Zeller is just going to be a little bit heavy, unfortunately. If he could have just trailed the jack there, he has one of Hill's bowls sitting towards the back. Could have turned that into from 1 down to 2 up very quickly.
The kind of student Mav is as well. He'll probably go straight back to Holdfast tonight and play that shot 15 times until he nails it.
See if we can make the correction this time.
Showing some
He
interest.
likes it. Oi, there it is. Not quite the deflection he was hoping for, but pushes it back and turns it into a couple.
Yeah, well played in the end there, I think there, Joe. He was probably lucky that he did turn his own one at the back through 1 or 2 rolls. Makes it look a lot tidier than what it could have been.
What can Rudiger answer with? It's going to be short, unfortunately. Can Zeller continue on from that last bowl? Bit of momentum here. They trail by 1 shot. Looks like the overall score's probably going to be a bit tough to overcome in the second half of this match, but rink point's still on the line. He doesn't like that one. I think he knows he's probably gone a bit heavy-handed with it, unfortunately. But love the intent from him there, the young skipper. Rudiger now will just want to stop the Rogues' momentum. They've won the last 3 ends in a row. These 2 players for the Chargers, Rudiger and Pedersen, will know if they can just peg it back here, get control of the mat. And I tell you what, was on a fantastic track, but it's not quite going to get there. So it looks like that's going to be the 1 shot to the Rogues, boys. So we are now, after 12 ends, the score is 12 apiece.
There you go. Nice little fight back from the Rogues, I think, Joe.
Bit of numerology there for those that are interested in that. Still, I thought we might have seen a bit of power play action there, but not quite. 6 ends to go, so still waiting for the power plays to be used. Again, a big thank you to our sponsors of the SA Super League. West End, they do a fantastic job. Big supporters of bowls in South Australia, not just the Super League. City of Salisbury, the funding and the support they give this competition is really outstanding. Sports Centre, we've spoken about the new look uniforms. Really, really good, great quality stuff. MGA Insurance Group and Spacequake Sports bringing you these fantastic shots live across the country, the world, the state, the city, wherever you are. And let us know in the comments where you are watching from. We love hearing from all our viewers out there, what you're up to this Sunday afternoon. Maybe you mowed the lawn this morning, done a bit of gardening, bit of the shops, and now you're just enjoying a nice quiet West End on this beautiful Sunday. And there still is opportunity to get down here as well, folks. Don't think that we're about to finish up anytime soon. Of course, the doubleheader, so we do have the round 2 league matches still to come after this. Plenty of outstanding bowls action to keep you busy on this Sunday afternoon. Patterson just a little bit short there. Can we get a bit of an update from, we know the overall score, Dan, but can we get a bit of a rink-by-rink update behind us there and the other rinks of this matchup?
Yeah, so the triples, look, there's a power play being played, not sure who, but it's 10-8 currently Chargers way, and the singles, a commanding lead here from Craig Mills coming in 28-9 with 5 ends to play. So Ash Close will just be looking to peg it back as much as you just got to give him a chance. Peg it back as close as you can. Give the blokes like Mav and the triples a chance to just try and make something special happen.
As we see the crew over there, of course, Kate Arjun-Bowden just in some ridiculous form at the moment, continuing on from a big year last year. I think we saw Simon Gator-Johnson over there as well, Craig Mills, Stuart Forbes, of course, coming off another runner-up finish in the state singles final. Unfortunately, he took Nathan Pedersen absolutely right to the brink and to his limit, but just unfortunately couldn't quite come away with the title. I think he'll be very excited to be on the same team as Nathan in this tournament, and a few of the boys that he's got in, and girls that are in the Chargers squad. Rudiger here opting for the backhand side. Still a lot of room for someone to draw a shot in here. And Wayne Rudiger says, don't mind me, I'll just take that one. So, big bowl here for Zeller. Just draw level, and they don't really want to go back down to 2 or 3 here and have to be playing chasey again. Ooh, can he get a bit of a deflection off his own bowl? Not quite. He still does have one more bowl though. Rudiger here. He'll know if he can tuck that jack away. There's quite possibly could turn this into a 4. Well, not quite, but it's another great catcher there. Very, very dangerous for the Rogues. Big ball here for Jaden Zeller. Just going to come down to weight here. Unfortunately, he's going to come up well short. So, boys.
May take a little bit of pain out, though, Joe. Wayne's going to have to play. He's trying to draw that jack. Could still make a 5, but that one from Jada may have taken some pain out.
See what number they can come up with. Rudiger on the wide hand. It's tracking on a good line. It's going to come up a bit short, but it might have just fallen out of the count. So they take 2 out, so it's at least 2 to the Chargers. Yep, that's just the 2. So you're right, Isaac. Zeller able to minimise the damage there.
It just shows as well, it's such a numbers game, because like looking at the card here, the Chargers have only won 5 ends, but a 5 and a 4, like absolute massive. So just shows if you can consolidate when you like drop shots. So they've only dropped 1, like the Rogues have only picked up 1 3 and a couple 1s. Whereas when the Chargers have sort of dominated the head, they've got massive numbers out of it. So
No, you're exactly right. It's a great summary there. Of course, you're hearing the insights there from Western Rogues reserves player and Club Holdfast member Dan Greenslade, who's helping us out in the commentary box. Our commentary colleague just abandoned ship. I think he's gone for just to double check things are still going okay. But we'll be able to carry it through here. A little bit heavy from Pedersen to start there. But again, at least pass. Better pass than being short. Heels turn. So the Chargers, they lead the way in this contest, 14-12.
good start there by Hill as well.
Great start by Hill. Those rink points, they're just hanging in there to be able to take this one. So, unfortunately, as we heard, the rink points might be a little bit tough on the other couple of games behind us. So they trail by 2 here. The Chargers, they lead by 2. If they can take a clean sweep of the rinks and the overall result, that'll be for an absolute dream start of the contest, as we see Nathan Pedersen there with a nice toucher.
It's like a good example, as you said, is with the rink, like rink scores. Our reserve side, obviously you mentioned before, lost the first 2, but we picked up 3.5 rinks.
Yep.
So it still keeps us in touch. Obviously early days, but keeps us in touch with everything. Just shows we're not too far off the mark, sort of to make something happen. So even though the overall sometimes is out of it, you just got to work hard. You get your rink win, and it just helps, especially later down the line, because especially towards finals, it gets really tight. A rink can get you from 4th to 5th.
Exactly.
And get you playing finals or not. So
well, we saw the league competition last year in particular go right down to that final round before we knew what the top 4 was going to look like. So every point, every shot is absolutely crucial. Pedersen coming up short here.
I remember as a Rogue squad, we're all here watching. We thought, oh, after one ball we were 2nd, and then we were top, and then we were 3rd, and we had no idea what was going on.
It's the beauty of this great competition, of course. Kicking off today with the first 2 rounds. Then in action next Friday night with round 3, followed by the following 2 Sundays with rounds 4 and 5, and then 6 and 7. And then a double header to kick off the finals, and then grand final week. Check out the Bowls SA website for the full fixture for the season, as well as all the results following today's action, all the ladders, all the latest information. That's your one-stop shop for everything SA Super League for the next 6 weeks or so, as we roll through what we say is a great competition. And again, a big thank you to everyone that's helped us get to this point and getting the 4th season up and running. Hopefully we can have a big few weeks and really help this competition continue to expand.
Probably a good one as well for all the bowlers out there. Don't be afraid, chuck your name in the draft. Like a lot of players here being picked up in this year's draft, so it's a good chance to get yourself out there and just give it a crack, because there's not a lot of bad things that can happen. So
exactly, like we say with all our state events, you've got to be in it to win it, you've got to be in it to get the experience. So no harm in that whatsoever. So we see Zeller here is just going to be wide and heavy, and it'll just fall into the ditch there. Rudiger's chance. They probably hold a couple here at the moment, the Chargers. Oh, Rudiger not far off. Able to just turn Pedersen's bowl over. Open it up a little bit to be able to get into the jack.
would not be surprised if you see Mav play with a bit of weight here. Like, doesn't have a lot on, not especially trying to draw around on that tighter hand. So wouldn't be surprised if he looks to try and promote any of Hilly's up, as he just called there. Just got to change it, give himself a different look with his last bowl.
Look at the young fella come up with. Of course, Jaden, our state under-18 boys coach as well, shouldn't forget that. Does a great job there with helping guide our talented youngsters coming through, and an incredible amount of talent we do have coming through the ranks. Zeller, at worst, he should turn a couple of hills, bowls over here. He may have at least cut that down from 2 to 1, quite possibly.
He'll be pretty happy with that as well, because it gives him a real good look now towards the jack, just because it was very congested. So he just played it really well, because he's just given himself options with his last one.
Rudiger not happy with that. Pretty evident quite early that he didn't want to borrow that. So Zeller now just, like you say, just assessing the room that he's got to work with. Can he get a couple of shots back and level this game up? The Chargers 14, the Rogues 12. Rink points on the line. Played 13 ends, this one the 14th, so it's humming through at a great pace. It's hard not to enjoy this great action.
Needs to bend a bit. Not too happy with that one, Mav.
No, best is just to get a maybe turn Hill's bowl over there, not quite. So we'll be 2 to the Chargers there. So the Chargers, they push their lead out. So they, with those 2 shots, go to 16. The Rogues, they remain on 12, so 4 shots in this game, 4 ends left to play.
Wouldn't mind a power play being played, if you want to be honest, Joe. Sorta...
I feel like it's just going to get down to the last 2 ends and both teams are going to play both of them.
That'll make for really good viewing, so stick around. It's going to be a great finish to this one, that's for sure.
Exactly. The quality of bowlers we've got here, 4 shots is absolutely nothing as we see the some spectators in the background there. Not a bad start. Watch Hill's turn here. Sticking with that wider hand. They probably don't want to be dropping another end here. You've mentioned the power plays are still to be used, but if they can knock a couple of shots off it here, and with bowls like that from Andrew Hill, they're going to give it a crack. And then we could see almost level. Imagine that, 2 ends left to play, both power play ends for both teams.
Could change everything, absolutely everything. As just a quick update across the boards, the singles is sort of blown out a little bit to 32-10, and the triples is 14-9, both the Chargers way. So Chargers got a pretty commanding lead on the 2 ranks behind us here.
Yep, so you'd have to think this pairs rank is probably the Rogues' best opportunity for some points in this contest. Like you said, every point you can get counts. For what feels like it is a short season, it's actually a long season, 7 home and away matches. So there's plenty of time. And Hill again, he's saying, boys, we want to get these rink points here. We're not walking away from round 1 empty-handed.
And he's just cool, calm, collected. Never gives you a lot, as we mentioned. So Pedersen playing weight here.
Here we go. This is where the action always comes. He's going to be well wide there, unfortunately, a bit uncustomary.
Didn't get it away too well. Don't think he liked that heaps out of the hand.
Interesting to see, though, that he went with the weight so early in this end. I think he knows they can't afford to let the Rogues boys get back into this game. He'll come up a bit short there, but he's lying not far off. That's a great end there from the Rogues lead. Jaden Zeller with a big grin on his face, very happy with his teammates' work. Of course, Wayne Rudiger there, he's used to the big lights, the spotlight. Of course, plenty of experience in the BPL for the Adelaide Pioneers. Fox Sports and Bowls Australia live streams. He knows what it's all about on the big stage. What can he come up with?
Tell you what, Joe, he is not far away.
Oh.
If he clears that front.
Well, not a bad result in the end. Not quite what he was hoping. You're right. If he was maybe a bowl over there, he probably could have taken that cleanly, but able to remove one of Hill's bowls.
I don't think the Rogues will be too unhappy either, because it's sort of taken that real massive target away from it. So Mav will just be looking, probably cover and count, get close to the tee as well in case Rudiger decides to go again.
Yeah, just coming up a little bit short there, but it looks like he was tracking for what you're talking about.
He does have a really nice trail shot on right now as well. If he can even sit that bowl through, draw the jack down for 3.
Wayne Rudiger. Oh. They'll fire off at all. Jaden Zeller would be a great upset to be able to kick off the SA Super League season. Not happy with this side, it's wide. Just be hoping it will stay up.
I think there's much wrong with that. I reckon he's a very good chance of having shot at the end of this bowl.
Doesn't particularly like it out of the hand. Needs it to turn.
Oh, not quite. Could have just about turned that into 3 shots up if he was able to take the jack there, but not going to happen. Zeller here. Can he turn this into a couple and reduce that deficit back? 3 ends left to play after this one. He's been a little bit wide with his first 2, but he's going to come up short with his 3rd. So it's just going to be the 1 there to the Rogues. So the Rogues, they move to 13. The Chargers, though, they still lead the way on 16. We've played 15 ends, still with 3 to go. I feel like the Chargers boys are trying to figure out whether they're playing a power play here or not. No, not quite in the end.
See the Chargers coach there, TJ, watching on.
Just, oh, if there's... TJ is that sort of coach that would keep you on your toes, I reckon, when he's watching very intently. We spoke about earlier how passionate he is about the Central Chargers. So it looks like, Dan, after our discussion earlier, it's going to be the 2 final ends with both teams playing power plays on both ends.
Yeah, interesting tactics. That's all I'm gonna say. But now, one thing as well, as a group, we got a bit of a get together last Sunday. We had a bit of a chat about. Obviously, everyone's a bit different with things like power plays. I know, I was lucky enough to play with like Tristan Griffiths.
Yeah,
he's not phased. He'll do lets me pick and choose when we want to do it. But and talking to Simon as well, he was even floating the idea of playing on the first 2 ends, 1 and 2. So it can go both ways. Very tactical. Because if you do, like us, we didn't happen to win one and didn't really help us in the course of the game, but going to be a bit of a shootout to finish these last 2 ends, I think.
Well, we've got a comment from Amanda Hill saying it's something to do with Andrew playing at Swan Hill.
Yeah, so
interesting there.
I have to ask him. I have to actually ask him. He's a man of many secrets, old Healy, I reckon.
Great bowl by Patterson there. Able to bring it in for the shot. So we've got Ray Coochel saying, bowled with him for about 7 years and known him for 15 years. Never heard him call Swanee. He barracks for the Brisbane Lions, so we can rule out the AFL supporting theory.
Well,
what are you guys doing at Hold Fast?
When I was introduced, I got told this man's name is Andrew Hill and we call him Swanee. So that was at a trial game against Marion. So whether someone's telling me porcupines, I wouldn't have a clue, but...
I think we might have to upgrade our special comments man for the second game, Isaac, because he's not giving us a lot in this one with that sort of bad intel.
I want my money back. This has been a poor investment.
If you can get shown up, that's the danger of the comments. If you throw any sort of statements out there, they can absolutely jump on you in a heartbeat, and we love it.
I never said it was true. I'm just going off what I've heard, but...
I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of that one.
I'll have to ask him.
Great. Look at that camera angle, boys. Along the carpet. Pedersen here. Can he take the jack? Not quite. But nice little groupie again, just to the bottom left of your screen there. There's a bit of a hush falls over. Both skippers not so smiley at the moment. The competitive juices are really kicking in, and I think the pride and competitiveness, they want to make sure they get away with the rink points here from this one. As we see, great camera angles there. Jaden Zeller opting for the tighter hand. Oh, doesn't like it facial expression-wise. I feel like his body language has loosened up a bit since the early part of this match. Oh, just going to run into heels. Bowl at the front there, not quite even reach it. Rudiger here, forehand now. Man in the Jackaroo squad in the Commonwealth Games here. Oh, and I tell you what, that's turned quite heavily late, and he's able to sit on Hill's bowl.
I'm sure Jaden will be licking his lips at that. Bowl sitting jack high. Not much more than a bowl's gap between the bowl and the jack. Just give yourself every chance of reaching.
Oh, and I tell you what, Isaac is giving himself every chance. Oh.
May have done enough for shot.
Yeah, I think he's just done enough to turn Hill's bowl in a shot, but I think your expression there, Dan, if we had a commentator, Cam would have said everything. It sort of it sums up Jaden's day.
I look forward to talking to him after. He'll just shake his head and smile and move on to the next one. That's the kind of operator he is. So.
Yep, they hold one. So what's Zeller looking to do here, boys?
He's just got to draw another, I think, mate. He doesn't really have much on. Like, he could draw the jack down the line, but it's still only going to be 2. So just needs to draw another, make it 2. Don't hang it wide.
Oh, yeah.
Anything for what?
On the tighter hand, unfortunately. I think he had a good point to work from there with Rudiger's bowl, but yeah. Rudiger now opting for this hand again, just narrowly misdrawing the shot bowl on his previous bowl. Looks like he's corrected on the line, boys. It's just going to be a matter of weight or deflection.
Falls over and he's got it.
Falls in. Yep, there it is. A very dejected one down signalling from Andrew Hill there. So the Chargers, they move along to 17. The Rogues, they remain on 13. We've got 2 ends to play, boys, so you know what that means.
Here we go.
Put the power play signs up and leave them up because they haven't used them yet and there's only 2 ends left to play. I think the boys are just trying to figure out what the Jaden's just saying. What am I? Do I have to hang this one up here or what's the go? Both teams super ends here, and they will for the next 2 ends to finish off this contest because, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching, we have completed 16 ends with 2 left to play. Coming to a close here in the round 1 SA Super League matches. Of course, stay tuned to our Bowls SA Facebook page, website for, this evening for all the scores, details from these rounds, as well as a full wrap-up story on our website tomorrow. And, of course, we will have another live stream to come round 2 after this one. There's just action aplenty. Not a bad start there from Pedersen. 4 shots in it, boys. 2 ends left to play. I want you to get off the fence, and I want a prediction from both of you. Which way does this game go?
The Rogues by heaps. Swanee will draw some bombs here. Nah, gotta go with the boys.
Nah, Chargers have it, I reckon. Coming in with a lead, they both have power plays in hand. I think whoever wins this end takes the W.
Yep. You'd have to think if the Chargers could they probably just let to win one of these 2 ends and it's all about done. And with bowling like this from Nathan Pedersen.
Oh. Nice slide up.
He's happy with that one too. Like he knows he copped a bit of luck there, as we see a great replay. He's very happy with it. Look at that. Perfect view of the central charger stick. A nice little deflection and it was able to take the jack. Beautiful to see. Not a bad second bowl there from Hill though.
Probably just a half a bowl tight then, team. He skirted, well, missed the first one, but then kicked the goal through the 2 blues.
Oh, Pedersen's not quite going to get the same luck this time, I don't think, boys.
Probably a little bit stiff then, to be honest. There's a little bit of breeze picked up as he sort of let it go.
Yep.
Hasn't been any breeze for the last half an hour or so.
Big bowl needed here by Swanee.
The man they call Swanee apparently at Holdfast.
I'm sticking with it now.
That nickname is going to stick, whether we know the background story of it or not.
Hurry.
Oh,
wow.
And Swanee. Oh.
Swanington.
And with his previous bowl just sitting to the back there, he could have turned that into a 2, which could have been holding 4 at this stage. Of course, for those new to the Super League, with the power plays, it does double your shots. So that's why we continue to emphasise the importance of them.
Hard to, looks like it's a little bit harder to make a significant number at the moment, the way the heads are set up. Nathan obviously having those couple of wide bowls there.
Interesting to see Rudiger going on the backhand side here, opting for that wider side. Just looking to get something past the jack for the Chargers at least. Not a bad option there. Just adds a bit of danger to Zeller here if he does try and trail the jack to Hill's bowl. See some great supporters in the background there, enjoying a lovely beverage. Sure, that's a West End and we love to see it. Zeller.
It's good though, mitigates the risk.
Sort of almost a contest of who can get to it first now, boys. You don't think it's going to stay around like this for too long.
Rudiger just opting for a bit of cover there, it looks like. Now, what's Zeller doing here, lads? Just a simple draw shot?
Probably look for a foot trail, I think.
Yep.
He just wants to, especially the way it springs as well, he just wants to just touch the jack, sort of get it back, make 2 or 3 here. Needs to hang around.
If he can turn Hill's bowl over there, at least get something out of it. But unfortunately, it's going to be narrow. Rudiger's going to swap to the forehand side here. Of course, 1 end left to play after this. 4 shots in it. Rudiger, he holds 1 along with Pedersen. Can he make it 2? Ooh, probably not quite, but not far off at all. Another interesting proposition for Zeller here. Knows they are down 1, which would of course turn into a 2 and then see them trail by 6 heading into the last, which isn't undoable with the power play, but it is a big challenge.
Need a rocket from Mav here. Needs a good one.
Just takes a minute to steady himself here. The pathway's Jackaroo. Can he come up with a big play for the Western Rogues and help them just stay in contention for these rink points? But unfortunately not. It's going to be narrow there, so not sure what the count was there, boys. Would have just been the 1, I reckon.
1 into 2.
1 into 2, so that turns into 2 for the Chargers. So that moves them along to 19. The Rogues on 13. So 6 shots in it with 1 end left to play. This will remain a power play end for both teams as we have a bit of a look on the other rinks there. The triples rink is still quite a close contest though, lads. The Rogues might be able to pinch a rink point over there. They trail by 2 shots in that one. Could they almost pinch a couple?
Nathan Pedersen, let's see how long he can hang on here. Great start.
Makes it tough to get a 6, boys, when you're getting your opposition lead, sending down his first one that close. Andrew Hill, though. Oh, playing with an aggressive weight, just a little bit narrow. Dan just showing us through the a group chat with some of the nicknames there.
I'm just showing that he's called Swanee and I don't know why.
Pedersen a little bit short there, so still room for Hill to work with.
I'm sure someone out there does know and will inform me, but
I have to think Hill will play with the same aggressive weight here.
close here.
He sure is. It looks like he's corrected that line, boys. Can it hang on? Oh.
It's another one waiting, hopefully.
That's it. Hey, if you've got to build that number.
Especially as good as like Pedersen's first bowl was. A real good sider for that sort of trail shot.
Interesting. Pedersen opting for the backhand, so the charges they do hold.
As you can see.
That is a silver platter.
Yeah, hands on the head, Pedersen. I don't think the Rogues would ask for much more when needing a number here.
So talk us through what you mean by a silver platter there, boys, how it's set up.
Sure thing, mate. So Nathan's have, as you can see, 2 bowls right next to the jack and that one short. Almost.
Sorry,
I was about to
Isaac, but
say-
I'll tell you what.
I was about to say it's unmissable.
He's nearly trailed the jack there and got those. They would have been holding the 3 shots, which would have been the 6 shots for them. Oh, look at this replay. Oh, you need hot spot on that, boys. Nearly.
Snicko.
Oh, a little bit of RTS on that one.
I reckon
Not
if-
even an ICC umpire could have made a decision on that. That is close. Wow. But yes, so you're talking about having those Pedersen's bowl. Is it just the fact that there's a target there to work from?
Just such a fat target as well. It's so wide. You really, except for that gap, you can't really miss on the forehand. But at the same time, there's no danger in the Rogues guys playing it quicker here. There's nothing to say they can't just swing the jack, put it straight in the ditch, or play real quick. You know, chance to even just get both of Pedersen's jack high bowls out at least.
Experience from Rudiger there, who's able to play a cover bowl, but
Close, Mav.
it is almost a little bit too close though. So if Jaden Zeller can trail the jack far enough here,
Oh, wow.
he's he's really had a tough day in that sense. It just has not fallen for him.
The unmissable hole when they found it twice.
You'd have to think this gives Rudiger another perfect opportunity just to play some deeper cover here as well. But he doesn't like it though, because he's going to put it into the ditch. So the same shot is on for Zeller here. As you can see, that sort of darker blue bowl, just a couple to the left of the jack there, is Rudiger's. So it is a little bit in the way, but we do have 3 of Hill's bowls sitting at the back. So if he can trail the jack and push it back into those.
See if we can try and listen into this conversation. See the conversation happening. I won't lie, boys, I didn't pick up much of that one.
From the hand angles, it looks like Mav will be sort of swinging on his backhand. Like, especially knowing Mav as well. He loves those real swinger weight, doesn't play the massive big weight. So, because Jack in the ditch should make 2 or 3.
Yep.
That's what he'll be looking for here.
Of course, he does still have 1 bowl left after this one. Can he catch that lucky break that has just eluded him for this whole afternoon? Ooh.
No. Unfortunately as well, I don't know if the camera's picked it up, but he actually turned Rudiger's back bowl into the pack of like Andrew Hill's bowls. So he almost made it really hard. But out of anyone, I would love Mav on the mat bowling the last one. So pump him up and he has to play a good one.
So we see great effort from David there, getting alongside Wayne Rudiger. Great energy. Love it when the big boss gets on the tools and getting around with that roving camera. We saw it in the grand final last year. It was a big hit with the viewers out there. Right, Wayne Rudiger looking for just another cover bowl here just to get in amongst Hill's bowls. Pedersen's happy with it. And as he probably should be, boys. Right.
Tough shot here. Tough shot here.
How does Zeller, how does he turn it into a 3 for a 6 for a draw?
Well, as we looking at it front on, Jack in that back left corner is his best way, because as Hilly's pointing there, the back 2 bowls of the Rogues, as long as Mav's bowl comes with it, just needs to beat, I think that's Wayne Rudiger's bowl there, or if he does find it, enough weight to pump it in, because it's not a touch or anything, and that's his best chance of doing it. Really just needs to play swinging weight and get the jack, and something good theoretically should happen, but it hasn't today. But if it's going to happen, it's going to be this bowl. So,
Is there the possibility for him to turn this into a 4, which becomes an 8 for the win? Are the numbers there, do you think?
I think, to be honest, almost his best shot is that front blue one. It's a little bit silly here, a bit rogue, if you will. But that front one, if he plays it sort of quick at that, the angle back to the jack gets Wayne's back bowl as well, which would make almost a full count.
They might have. I think that's going to be the next request we have to put into Spacequake Sports, is to get the telestrator like they've got at the cricket, I reckon.
here we go.
Get the graphics going. Great camera angle there. Jaden Zeller, he's having a good close look at this one. He wants it to be good, boys. He wants it to be good. Oh,
Great shot, nonetheless.
yeah, exactly.
Any other end, it was an absolute bomb. But
If we sound depressed in the box, it's 1 that turns into 2. So the final margin will be 4 shots. So they nearly got there. He had, the platter was laid. The meal was ready to be served. Oh, and yeah, you're right. It's a great shot, but it's, yeah, I think that's the story of the day for the Rogues, boys. I'll thank our sponsors one more time. West End, City of Salisbury Sports Centre, MGA, Spacequake Sports. We're going to take a quick little break. We're going to come back with a player interview with probably one of the Chargers boys. So we'll come back to you shortly, boys. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a finish to that fantastic round 1 SA Super League match. The Central Chargers, Nathan Pettis and Wayne Rudiger getting over the top of Jaden Zeller, Andrew Hill. I've got the man of the moment himself, Wayne Rudiger, the Jackaroo, with me. Rudy, they made you work for it right to the death there.
Yeah, it was a tight game all the way through. It was just a matter who had the better of a couple of ends, and we got lucky and got a 5, and that sort of broke the game open for us and got us back in the game, and we were able just to run away with it in the end.
And a great overall win as well. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to peek at the other scores, but a good start for the team.
Yeah, I suppose with Millsy winning by plenty, with 20 plus, it took all the pressure off us, really. We just had to go out and just try and get our little rink win here and be happy.
And yourself, how are you finding being back in the Super League? Obviously, I think you missed last year due to injuries, so we obviously appreciate having you out here. How are you finding it?
Oh, no, nice warm night, perfect. Happy days. Knee's good and I'm ready to go and try and win another game in a minute.
Fantastic, mate. Best of luck for a big year. I know it's a big year for yourself. Big thank you, everyone. Like I said, we'll be coming back to you very shortly with the Raiders versus the Spartans in round 2. Thank you.